I was a Marshall County Sheriff's deputy, and I was on patrol on September 20th, 2021. I was on patrol southbound on State Route 26. I was slowed down, began to make a left turn on the Washburn Road, and just as I started to initiate the turn, a full-size F-150 pickup truck slammed into the back of my squad car. Driver wasn't paying attention, didn't see me stopping, turn signal or anything, just struck me, didn't hit his brakes or anything. It was quick. My vehicle went veering off the road. I went from Marshall County into Woodford County because it was right there on the line, so he literally knocked me into another county. I was unconscious for a period of time, dazed, confused, really just kind of had everything knocked right out of me. I went to the hospital. They checked pretty much everything that was hurting, which was pretty much everything on the left side. Nothing was broken. I had no head bleed or anything. So they really just kind of gave me some painkillers and sent me home. She stayed home with me on Thursday. She went to work on Friday, thought I was okay. And then she kept like contacting me to see how I was doing. I was responding to her the same way each time, kind of like just repetitive. So she got concerned and came home and checked on me and found me just kind of out of it, not really responsive. They took me to the hospital and checked me for stroke symptoms. And it was about 5 p.m. that evening, 5:30, that I kind of describe it as waking up, where I just suddenly realized I'm in an emergency room. I see her going out the door to go use the restroom, and I had no idea why I was there. Jim was very reassuring. He has had a lot of experience with head injuries. He gave me some examples of what he'd been dealing with, which weren't exactly like me, but obviously traumatic brain injury, life-changing situation for somebody, and the directions that he was putting them. So he was very reassuring, letting me know that he knew who and where to get me to get the help that I needed. And he came through. I mean, he wasn't feeding me a bunch of crap. I mean, he literally just, he did everything he could to get me in the right directions, and everything was what I needed.
I think Jim's whole goal was for him to get better, and that was our whole goal too. And he listened, and when we first met with him, he was great. And as Scott continued to meet with him, he continued to have the problems, and Jim decided, I think this is more serious than what we initially thought it was. And that was the turning point, I think, for Scott's care, because we'd been dealing with it for almost a year, and there was no progress. And then Jim stepped in, and he said, I think we need to look further. And so he facilitated a lot of things for us, and forever grateful for him for that.
They were always very quick to respond about everything. In fact, it was really nice because a lot of times I was able, if I got information and it was like later on in the evening, I could send the information directly to Jim, which he was always open to. He would give me a phone call about something. If I had a question, he was driving back from Chicago for being in court or something. He's on the road driving back, and he's giving me a call. I mean, it didn't matter, night or day. Mm-hmm. He was always quick to respond and always got back with us. And the staff were the same way. They were great.
And the staff's hardworking too, and they're always so pleasant to deal with when we come in. They're always so friendly, and I think they all enjoy working here and working for him. So that says a lot about him as well.
Yeah, beyond exceptional service, honestly. It was great. And like, again, it just gave you that comfortable feeling that you knew you're in good hands. I always did. I never had any doubts since I've been working with him.
Yeah, we never felt the need to call for updates, what's going on with the case. We've never felt the need to do that, because he would always update us on a regular basis, and like Scott said at the beginning, very reassuring.
I would recommend anybody with any kind of injury, no matter how minor it may be or how major it is, Jim will definitely take care of you. I mean, I've known quite a few attorneys, but I mean, really honestly, a lot of those guys I know, they're there for a paycheck, and they're going to do basically whatever's necessary to get you halfway decent and where they can collect. Jim, nah, he's not that way at all. He actually cares about the people he takes care of, and you don't see that in a lot of attorneys, and him you do. It's genuine, and I would recommend him to anybody, absolutely 100%.
He's changed our lives for the better.